Hola, I'm Angie from Heavy Mexico, and today I'm here with Sean from Alesana. It's really great to have you here, and thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me today. As I know, you're coming back to Monterrey very soon, this February 18th at Showcenter Complex, and this time I know it's a very special tour, and I'm ready to dive into that today.
Sounds good. Looking forward to it.
So you've been to Mexico before, and every time the response, I know it's incredible for you. But for this tour, what can fans expect, or what can fans feel different this time around?
Well, I think playing the record, The Emptiness in its entirety, is going to be what changes the vibe for sure. We've played plenty of those songs from the record at different sets when we visited there before, but as I'm sure you know, if you've ever watched a band play a record in its entirety, there's a certain intimacy I think that comes with it because you're able to get lost in a record that maybe you've listened to a bunch on your own at home, but now you're actually there, in the energy of its performance. And I think that inevitably will make the experience feel different than in the past.
And I know that the love that you have for your fans is a lot, and I know it's mutual. And I know that coming to Mexico for a long time now, the love is always there. The love is always insane. And what do you think it's one crazy or something memorable that you have for your Mexican fans that you still remember nowadays?
I mean, to be perfectly honest, and not just because we're talking about the Monterrey show, but the first time we ever went to Mexico, our first show was in Monterrey, and at that point, we've been playing shows at home that were, big enough, right? But we had never seen anything like the crowd that showed up at that first night. And I can still see it clear as day in my mind. And, so having done this for over 20 years and played at so many amazing places all over the world, that's still the first time we played internationally. And so there's an unbelievable excitement every time we go back there because it's like revisiting the place where it all started for us in a lot of ways.
And I know this is for the fans that have been there since day one, but what can new fans expect for the band? What can you tell them for the people who are just discovering the band and what you stand for?
Yeah, well, I think one, you're going to expect a super high energy live show. That's something we've always done from day one. It's been a priority since we ever played on a stage for the first time. We spent 6 straight months before we played our first show, making sure that our live show had proper energy, and we've never stopped in that regard. But in terms of what we stand for, we stand for PMA, positive mental attitude, bringing that type of energy to a show, taking care of each other, realizing that we're all there for one collective reason, and at least for that one night, we're all friends and we're all in the same room and we're celebrating music together.
And that's just welcoming these new fans. And with new fans, trends, they come and they go, and the music industry, they keeps evolving, keeps changing. But how do you make sure that the essence of Alisana stays alive, or it stays put of what it is to the core?
I think it's just honoring the art itself. Art. I say this a lot to my students, but art is created for two things. It's created for yourself first and foremost, and then it's created for anybody who decides they want to enjoy it with you. And I think what we've always prided ourselves on, and I feel like we've been good at, is allowing our fans to have our music impact them the way they want it to or need it to. And we've never said, no, no, that's what this is about, or no, this is what it's supposed to mean. It's like, no, no, no. It may mean something to us, but we want it to mean what it means to you. And I think allowing that freedom and that safe space with our fans when it comes to that has been what has helped us sort of keep our fan base for as long as we have.
And I would like to do this question because when you first came to Mexico, you just realized how strong the music connected with the emo and the alternative scene here in Mexico, and not just musically, but also in style, in attitude, and all that. And now, years later, with all this new social media and new generations discovering the band, how does it feel to see this connection still alive and still evolving?
I think it's very cool. I've mentioned this before in the past, but we have fans who come to shows now who weren't born when we started our band. And it's a wild concept for us to recognize because to us it's just a room full of people who are there to enjoy our music with us. Sometimes it doesn't even necessarily compute that it's like, oh, this is an entire new generation of people who are coming to experience this music. But to better answer your question, I think being honest with ourselves and real about it is kind of what's allowed us to maintain how we are perceived by our fans in terms of, like you said, vibe and genre and style and things. Like we've never tried to force anything. It's like if it was working in the moment, we do it. And sure, we have certain callbacks to things. We wear all black on stage if we always have, because it's sort of in our uniform and things. But it never. We always try to make sure it doesn't come off as this sort of lazy imitation of what we are. We still allow whatever our current personality is to shine, because we are people and we all change over time. And so we never try to pretend to be what we were. We just try to be very honest about who we are now. And I think it's how we always have been. And therefore that same energy is kind of still radiates back to our fans.
And as you said before, you played in Monterrey sometimes previously, and I know that you're really looking forward for this February 18th show. So, what do you expect? What do you want your fans to know that they could do, or what do you want them to share? What do you expect for us as fans in this
I
next show?
I just want them to continue to bring that high passion that Mexico is so known for. I've said we've been all over the world, and there's just a very unique thing to the Mexican fan that is so high energy, so unbelievably supportive, and they hit that line, but they never cross it. And I think that's my favorite thing about it. It's all from this great, intense place of love and respect and enjoyment, but it never teeters over and feels like anything that isn't exactly what it is. And that's my favorite thing about our Mexican fans.
And it's crazy because this tour is very special. You're celebrating 16 years of the emptiness, and while still keeping your biggest songs in the set list and having all this full album, playing it entirely, how do you balance honoring this era while still giving us your greatest records?
Yeah, I think it's for me, and being somebody who's obsessed with time travel in my storytelling and in the stuff that I enjoy. I think it allows us to sort of travel back in time to a different place when this record came out. And it's for one night together, we can sort of all hop in the time machine and go back together. And there's no judgment with it. There's no worry. It's just this one place we can all go together and re-experience something that was not only special to our fans, but incredibly special to us.
Thank you so, so much for taking this time to talk with me. I'm so, so excited to see you play live here in Monterrey, February 18th at Showcenter Complex. If you could please help me out to invite your fans to the show, to come to the show.
Yeah, please come out. I think we're playing a place in Monterey we've never played, so that's like very exciting. Always fun to see a new venue, experience a new venue, and we're looking forward to celebrating this record with everybody.
Thank you so much for taking this time. Thank you so much for being here in Monterrey. And this is Angie from Heavy Mexico, which I'm from Alesana. See you in Monterrey.
Thank you. We'll see you.